All right. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I just want to wrap this up by highlighting just a few of the points of emphasis that I wanted to bring to this discussion. And the first one is the fact that you are a jurist. You are a jury of one, and you have been impaneled in this life to remain objective, to weigh the evidence, and to come to a conclusion about the question of your own origins. Because this is bedrock stuff. This is basement level, corner stuff, foundational issues. I mean, this is like a powerful part of your worldview is how you answer this question. This question will affect the kind of choices you make, how you lead your life, and ultimately destiny. And I also want to remind you that no matter which side of the equation you fall on, whether you decide that the evidence more firmly supports the accident proposition or whether you decide that the evidence more firmly supports the design proposition, both are statements of faith. Both have to do with indirect evidence and inference from that evidence having to do with the distant past. This question cannot be answered by scientific method. There are no mathematical calculations that we can perform to prove empirically one option over the other. There is no direct observation that we can do, no experiments that we can run that will empirically demonstrate under laboratory conditions by peer review how life began on this planet. This question is a circumstantial case. This is a question that is like a courtroom drama. And so I also want to challenge you, if I can, just to remove the Darwinian glasses and set them aside, because if you're like me, your whole educational career has been focused on Darwin's theory. You were taught from grade school on through college that evolution is how we got here. So just take those off for a bit. I mean, like I said a couple of times, you can put them back on if you want, but one of the reasons why I'm asking you to do it right now is to revisit some of these online, like YouTube videos of the molecular matrix, the intracellular matrix, and all this nanotechnology and all these little machines supporting life. And just ask yourself this question. Does that look like an accident? Does that look like it could have happened by chance? Or does it appear to be more as if we're looking at design here? I mean, just answer the question. And I want to take you through a thought experiment here. Now, many times throughout this presentation, you've heard me talk about Drew Barry's astonishing molecular machines. And it's awesome. I mean, it's a great video. But I didn't pick Drew Barry's because it was my favorite. I picked it because he mentions two guys that have had an ironic connection in my thinking for years. So of course I'm going to pick him. I mean, he's helped me in this presentation. But my favorite video, my favorite online intracellular matrix video wasn't Drew Barry's. It's another one. It's like an hour long, and it's just wonder after wonder as they take you throughout the cell, and you're exploring all these wonderful machines. You'll know it when you get there. It's about an hour long, and your jaw will be on the floor. But my favorite machine that I saw in this video was this little transport vehicle, and it was traversing the scaffolding highways that are within the cellular matrix. And these scaffolding highways are amazing because they, you know, they prevent the cell from pancaking, but they're tubular. They're these tubular shapes. And what I loved about this machine was that I just started laughing when I saw it because it looked more like a Disney cartoon. And the reason why I found it so funny is because it was this long, thin transport vehicle. It's like a pen, and its legs, instead of walking like ours do, like the feet swinging out underneath it, like our legs do, the legs swung out in these little 180-degree arcs along the tubing. And I just laughed at that. That's beautiful, man. I was just laughing because I thought it was great. So anyhow, that was my favorite machine. And as you move up the spine of the machine, it had two little arms that were going behind its back, as if you were, let's say you were grabbing a backpack that you had on your back and you were holding it like this. And it had these two arms that extended behind, and it was holding onto this big wobbly bag. And I don't know what that was. Maybe it was taking out the garbage. Maybe that wobbly bag was a machine that needed to be moved somewhere else. I don't know what it was doing. But what I want to do is I want to take you through a thought experiment. I just want to take this thin little sliver of the intracellular matrix, and I just want us in our mind to blow it up to the size where we can actually physically handle it and look at it. So let's take that tubular scaffolding highway, and let's just blow that up to the size of the tubing that holds your wrapping paper. Let's just take a stretch of it. Like if we blew that scaffolding up to that size, the cell would be probably be like the size of the Goodyear blimp if we were actually to expand the scaffolding highway of the cell up to the size of this cardboard tubing. But let's just make it that big in our mind so that we can do this little thought experiment. And let's take that machine and let's just blow that machine up to the size of, like, say, a pen, because it was long, skinny machine, and those little legs were crawling out the side of it. And let's take this bag that it was holding on to behind its back. Let's stretch that out to the size of like a big potato. Now let's take that little snippet, that little subsection of the cellular matrix, and let's just put it inside of a glass case, and let's take that glass case and stick it in, I don't know, an art museum or something. Is there any chance that you would walk into the art museum, look at this little contraption underneath the glass case, and have your mind spring to the randomness conclusion? It's like, oh, what a remarkably random series of events took place underneath this glass case. No, you'd be like, this is remarkable. This is like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Who did this? You've got to be honest with yourself. You know that that's what you would do. You would want to know who the designer was. So let's just take this a step further. Let's just blow. Let's go ahead and go. Let's just take the whole cell and let's just blow the whole thing up to the size of a Goodyear blimp, so that we can actually walk inside, experience the wonder of all the molecular machines, but on a tangible size, so that we can handle them and see them and experience them with our own physical eyes, with our physical senses. Is there any chance that you would walk into this world of wonder with its whirling machines, with its vehicles, and with its cellular division, with its power plants and assembly lines and scaffolding highways and vehicles moving along and self-defense systems and replication systems that were in place? Is there any chance that you would walk inside this world of wonder and go, wow, What a remarkably random event took place here. There's not a chance. There's not a chance that that would be the conclusion you would come to. You would walk inside this thing and you would be saying, "Oh my God, who did this? Who built this thing? Who designed this wonder?" I want to shake their hand, and I want to spend the next 3 weeks here, just living here. I want to explore every square inch of it. There's not a chance that your brain would go to the random event conclusion. So let's just take that blimp and let's just shrink it down to the size of a school bus. Any chance, any less designed right now, any less amazing? Let's just take that school bus and pop it back down to the size of a watermelon. Yeah, you can see little bits moving and spinning around inside there. Is it any less designed right now? No, I would suggest to you that it's even more designed right now. Because it's smaller. That it's more articulate. That the bits are more difficult to work with. It takes greater technology and understanding to create that world to be the size of a watermelon versus the size of a blimp. All right, you know where I'm going next. Let's just pop that thing back to the size of your cell, to invisibility. Any less designed right now? Any less wonderful? I would argue that it's more designed, that it's even more wonderful, because it's smaller. So at what point along this trajectory of this scale, from the blimp to the bus to the watermelon to the cell, did that thing go from being a wonder of the world to being a random accident? Just a thought experiment. Try and take the evolutionary glasses off now. And try and think about it. Try and ponder that one.